Jack, those 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter, I mean, was that just you trying to make a play, or was it things that you didn't see, or was there a miscommunication on one of them? Or?
No, I think it was just a bad decision on my part. I thought I saw something on the first one that we should have thrown deep on that one because the corner jumped it. Second one, I didn't see the safety over the top. It was just a dumb mistake that I made.
Yeah. Was there kind of mixed emotions today? I know you don't care about records, but still, it had to be a little odd to have that ceremony, right before the fourth quarter with a big third down.
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
up.
it's cool to meet Mr. Gale and everything and shake his hand and everything. But yeah, the only record that I care about is this team's win and loss record, and that's something we have to improve on next week.
Cam, you talk about your day. I mean, imagine mixed emotions for you. You had a big day stats wise, but you guys couldn't seem to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, Jack's first interception, that was my fault. That was a bad read on my part, and just want to clear that up. And I don't really care about my stats really. All it's really about is getting the win, and we couldn't do that today.
Did you guys feel that you came out a little flat? It seemed like the offense took a while to get going. Did it seem things were a little slow compared to last week when you kind of jumped out of the chutes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just we've had that problem all year. We've been up and down. Either we start the game slow, or start fast, we don't finish fast. It's just we just got to be able to find consistency within our offense, and we just haven't been able to do that yet.
Cam, what did you see on offense those first few drives?
It's just about, we got to start fast. Coach preaches it every week. We got to start fast, and we got to finish drives, and we got to finish games, and we couldn't do that today.
I know the loss is disappointing, but Cam, what does it mean that Jack has all these records, and you're a big part of that? What does it mean to his receivers?
I think it just shows that we can do great things when we do things right, and it's a testament to a lot of the hard work we put in, making sure we get open, making sure we catch the ball, get yards after the catch and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still about getting the win. Yeah. And all the records and stuff, that's cool and all, but I mean, you just want to win.
Right. Mike, this is the second week in a row quarterbacks had a real big game against you guys. What was it about this particular guy that was kind of tough for you guys to, defend?
Just making mental mistakes. A lot of guys just messing up. I thought our pursuit was all right, but I mean, they were running that lead draw in the first half. We didn't really see that coming. We weren't expecting it, but once we got things figured out at halftime, I thought we played well in the second half, but it wasn't well enough to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of changed in that second half? Was it just guys communicating more, or executing better? Or?
Yeah, just communicating more. I mean, we didn't make too many changes. We just got things figured out in terms of guys communicating with each other, talking it out, knowing who has who, and where to fit up in the run. But
yeah. And did you guys feel as a defense that your backs were against the wall and giving up 28 points in the first half? And did you know that you really had to kind of shut the door going forward?
Definitely. I mean, our backs were against the wall. We just had to dig our heels in and fight. And I thought we did a good job in the second half, but we just can't let people have such a big first half on us. We can't give up that many big plays, that many yards, that many points. 28 points is way too many.
Yeah. For all you guys, it seems like Jack, you're in here a lot. I'm kind of asking you the same questions every week. But how disappointing is it, to come home and not be able to get things done? It seems like the same things every week, third downs, penalties here and there. And is it just how frustrating is it to feel that you guys are the ones that are kind of preventing you from winning these games?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about each week. The only teams that have beat us would have been us, it seems like. But that all starts in practice. We have to be able to come out and we have to practice hard every day, each week. And it'll show up our games. Games we've won, we practice hard each week and come out and put good games on the field.
Cam, do you have anything to say about that? I mean, is it just? Do you guys feel that this is all fixable and all stuff that?
Yeah, it's definitely fixable. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's definitely fixable. I mean, Jack pretty much hit it on the head. We have to practice harder. We got to finish plays. We got to finish drives. We just have to do our part on offense and put the ball in the end zone.
Mike, on defense, what are some things that you guys can carry forward to next week to maybe avoid those big scoring quarters? Or
I mean, I think we just need to put in more work during the week. I mean, there's a lot of guys on defense who can line up and we can understand, all right, they're going to do one or two things, but then there's other guys we have that don't understand it as much. I don't know people aren't understanding film or what's going on, but I think just we have to take it one day at a time, and we have to realize that the games aren't won on Saturdays, they're won on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's when you put in the work to win the game.
Do you feel more comfortable being, that voice now that you're kind of cemented in the starting lineup, and now that you're back on the field full time? Is that a role that you're comfortable with?
Definitely. I feel like I'm an emotional leader on the defense, but it is my first year starting. I don't know if guys listen to me as much, but I mean, I just feel like we just got to make it happen, and I like to voice my opinion a lot. It happens, bad things happen, we get in arguments, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers. We all respect each other. So
it doesn't get any easier now. You got the #1 team in the country next week, and I know that's a challenge that you guys all like, and that's why you come here. But how daunting is that to face a team that's ranked #1 when you yourselves are struggling a little bit too? Does that sharpen the focus, or does it make it that much tougher?
I don't think it sharpens the focus, but I mean, we come out, we think we can play with anybody in the country. I mean, like we said earlier, I think the only teams that beat us have been us the whole year. But we'll come out and get a good week of practice, and we'll be ready for Saturday.
Do you guys want to add anything about playing the #1 team?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to treat it like any other game. They're the #1 team in the country. Rankings don't really matter. Just about how you play on Saturday and how you practice during the week and the product you put on the field.
It's kind of a big thing against Sioux Falls, and that seemed to be the big roadblock, at least in the first half. What was it? Just the same old things again, or was it more what Upper Iowa could do?
No, it's our execution. I mean, it is. I mean, it's the same thing the guys were just saying. You got to perform. And I don't know what's going on with this football team, but we, coming in home here, and we got to step up and make plays at home. And I mean, we're 3 for 15 on 3rd downs. I mean, that's insulting. And we got to do something about it. We got to execute much better and keep the sticks moving. And you throw that in there, and then don't punt the football. And they played the whole first half at about a 60-yard field.
Yeah. It seemed like that started to change a little bit in the second half. I mean, it was almost, I don't know, it wasn't too late at that point, but I mean, did you guys feel
it wasn't too late? We didn't turn the ball over twice going into red zone. We put touchdowns in. We're back in the game. I mean, we were really a play away up until 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter. I mean, we're throw 2 picks at the end, and those are drives. Our defense came out and played a lot better in the second half and got the ball back, and they punted it, and away we go. We had horrible field position all day, and it didn't take care of the chains.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys aren't doing against the Papillon last week and Morales today? That Morales completed his first 14 passes. I think he only had 1 incompletion.
Yeah, we're getting repeat downs on us. So I mean, the same thing's happening to us, and I'm trying to get our guys to understand. We've got to change the pictures and the way we were playing it, and trying to work with our staff to understand that as well. But you can't just. I mean, they ran. It seemed like 100 slants at us, and pretty soon you got to disrupt the slant, and we're just not very good at understanding what we just saw, and then making corrections to get that changed to make them throw different routes.
The bright spot I thought for you today was Paul Preston. Unfortunately you got
I need 80 more Paul Prestons.
Yeah, I mean you had to throw it a little bit more in the second half, but I mean, how can you talk about his big picture development? He's now, you can mark him down for 100 yards every game, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing his tail off, and he's bouncing off stuff there's nothing there, and he's sliding out, and he's tough. I mean, and he's healthy, and that kid has just worked. So from the running back perspective, and it's fun working with him every day with that running back group. But he's amazing. I keep wanting to take him out of the game and get other kids opportunities, but he's the inspiration on the team right now. And he's doing everything he can and more.
Yeah. I mean, does that also speak to kind of the offensive line starting to play better? I know that Jack was sacked a few times, but that seems to be getting better.
They got tired late, I think, but they are doing a better job, and we're starting to understand where to run the football. And Paul's pretty savvy about that. He's a football guy and understands where to run the football and all that kind of stuff. But he's making some people miss and bounces off tackles and finishes forward. And for 165 pounds, he's playing like a real man.
And how disappointing is it? Jack broke the record, but it's another loss. And I know he made a few mistakes there at the end, but
yeah, he did. He didn't play his best game. I mean, here he is. He's a great quarterback, and he's an all-time leader in almost every category we have. And it was fun to see. I saw Steve Spear here today, and I saw Jake Galo, of course, gave him you know, the passing of the baton or passing of the football, and that's awesome for our program, but he didn't play his best game. There's a lot more in Jack Nelson, and we'll see that. You know, we still got a year and 4 games. He's going to shatter that thing, and if he can push to, you know, 10,000 yards, but we got to keep him upright, and no matter what the situation is in the game. But yeah, he's incredible. He's just he didn't play at his best either.
Was that any of the, I don't know if they're distractions, but did that have anything to do with it at all, or?
No, I think more about him taking the shot last week was more difficult than what we thought. He just wasn't. He was launching the ball in the first half. I think that shoulder is still sore, or that elbow is still sore from the hit he took last week in that game, and that was a big part of that game too. But he was, you know, nursing that all week, and that's on his throwing arm, and you know, some balls he put right in our hands. We still had a couple drops, but you know, we're getting better in a lot of things, but we're not there yet.
How about Cam Johnson? He's almost been kind of an afterthought in this receiving group with Alan May keeps getting better and better, and Cam seemed to have a really good game.
Yeah, exactly. And Alan's playing like Paul. I mean, they're playing out of their minds. Josh is you know, not as consistent as we'd like him, but he's also got a lot of pressure on him and people all over him. And then so there's that he's dealing with. And Cam's like the other guy, but the other guy is really good. Cam Johnson is a special talent. He'll be one of the nation's best next year in his senior year. We spread the ball around, but he's big, strong, and you know, he's still learning how to play the game and make a big moment catch. But he caught some balls on the sideline today that were unbelievable. I mean, he's got a tremendous upside, and his future is going to be pretty bright for even past year.
He's been healthy all year, right? He hasn't had anything. I know that was kind of an issue last year.
No, he's worked hard on it. Worked on his body and his flexibility and mobility, and he's a premier receiver right now.
Yeah. Special teams seem to be a little shaky, especially in the punting game. Is there any? I don't think you have any options there. Is it just that you just have to execute better?
He's got to kick it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Mike's been doing a pretty good job for us, and you know, he had like won a game, and today he was off. I mean, he was just off, and you can't have it. You can't give a great offense to the football 10 yards from where you punted it from. And so we'll make some changes there, and you know, Carter can kick it as well. So we'll have a little competition this week, and but he's got to perform. This is the big stage, and I know he's a freshman and all that kind of stuff. But he's a mature kid, and we have the same expectation for him as we have for anybody else.
That by itself wasn't, you know, the problem, but that just didn't help.
It didn't help. I mean, you got to flip the field. I mean, you look what their kid did. You know, you look at the two things. I mean, we're playing from the 10-yard line, the 15-yard line, the 12-yard line, whatever it was. They're playing at midfield, and that against those kind of teams, if we make them play 80 yards, something could happen. If they're playing 60, you know, they're one strike away.
Is this the time of the year where you wish that you were in the North Division and didn't have to go play the #1 team in the country?
No, I just want to play a lot better in the South. I like where we are. It's everything we've asked for as we've been growing this league for all these years. We got great teams, and we just need to get our football team to play at the level we need to be in the South Division. So no, it's not about whether we're good enough or not. It's just we're not playing well enough, and that's the difference.